In light of everything that happened last year, security has become more and more available and advantageous than ever before. If you're like me and you're finding yourself taking this on as an actual career, you're probably finding out that you're able to make more money and have more opportunities than ever before. Unfortunately, there are 5 things that we have to come to grips with in terms of the uncomfortable truths about security if we're going to do this, be fulfilled, and actually be able to control our sanity while we do it. We're going to talk about these 5 things today in today's debrief. Join me.
Yeah, holy smokes, I'm no joke out the bullpen, bringing nothing but heat, leave you hanging like clothespins. He's a beast when he goes in, ice cold frozen. The first round draft pick, #1 chosen.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, Atypical Security Guard. As always, I want to thank you for joining me for today's debrief. Remember, the entire reason why we have this channel is to help educate, motivate, train. Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in to today's debrief. It's your boy, Atypical Security Guard. As always, remember, the entire purpose for this channel is to help educate, motivate, train, and inform new and entry-level security guards. If we can do that, we can help change the narrative around our industry, and in the end, we can all be more fulfilled and make more money. If you're getting any benefit from the videos that we are uploading, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, you can always be informed when we upload by hitting that notification icon that looks like this. And let's get right into it. So there are 5 uncomfortable truths that we have to come to terms with if we're going to do security as a career. Number 5 is the appearance of security. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't learned by now, our job, for the most part, and I remember that, and I understand that every one of us, we all work different posts, we are in different areas of the country, we all have different responsibilities, but for the most part, guys, security is there to offer a visual deterrent. We are generally nothing more than a living, breathing ADT sign that is stuck in the front yard without actually purchasing the security system. Guys, remember, if we actually do a lot of the things that we're trained to do, defensive tactics, detainment, or actually, God forbid, have to fire or utilize our firearm, that is actually rising the liability of most companies, and that's not what they want. So as hard as it is, and guys, I get it, most of us, we don't want to go to work, we don't want to do something where we feel like we're just, a living, breathing scarecrow, but that's part of what comes with the job and the territory of being a security guard. If you want to get your hands truly in the mud, so to speak, you're going to need to go towards law enforcement. If you're not comfortable going towards law enforcement, going into the military, or a host of other opportunities, but if you're going to do security, you have to understand what comes along with that. And what comes along with that, unfortunately, is a lot of standing on post, sitting on post, watching doors, and having interactions with the public from a customer service perspective. Now, that is not necessarily a bad thing. I truly, personally enjoy that aspect of my job. I enjoy the opportunity to wear the uniform of quote unquote law enforcement, but have that one-on-one time or that face time with all the people in the public and try to help change that narrative, not only around security, but around law enforcement in general. So this is something that you're going to personally need to make a decision if you're able to do this, because if you violate your post orders or you go against what it is that you're actually there to do, or you don't understand what it is that you're actually there to do, you ultimately could end up losing your job or potentially getting yourself in a lot of trouble. The number 4 uncomfortable truth is we're all disposable. I know that kind of goes against the 2021 outlook of everyone being special and a unique snowflake and unicorn butterfly. But in the realm of professional security, each one of us, myself included, we are all disposable. Everything related to contract security is fluid. Guys, listen, The contracts can be pulled. Your supervisor could move. Your company could fold. Guys, at the end of the day, we are just a number. I have talked to so many of my coworkers, whether they be in security or in the retail establishments where I work, and a lot of them, they have this feeling of, I'm just not appreciated for my job. I'm just not taken seriously. I'm not given any sort of appreciation for what I'm doing for the company, or how much I'm putting in, or how much time I give to this company. And guys, listen, that's true. But at the end of the day, the fair exchange for your time as an officer is your paycheck. If you don't feel that you're being compensated well enough, it's up to you to go and find a company that is going to compensate you fairly for the time, the effort that you give to that company. At the end of the day, the company will always look out for themselves. The contractor will always look out for themselves, and the business will always look out for themselves. If they've got to cut costs, security will be one of the first things to go. If they're unhappy with someone, security will be the first thing to go. If it starts to become too politically disadvantageous for the company or the contractor, they will let go of security. And you have to understand this. Don't be offended by it. Don't get upset by it. Recognize it, understand it, and find a way to utilize that for you personally, to get the most out of your time within a company, or get the most pay for your services, and realize that the only exchange that you have with any company or contractor is the amount of money that they pay for the time and effort that you give. The number 3 uncomfortable truth kind of piggybacks off of number 4, and that is that no one is coming to save you. When it comes to you learning defensive tactics, when it comes to your training, when it comes to firearms, when it comes to you having life insurance or purchasing a bulletproof vest, all of the things that go along with being a prepared and competent security officer, it's all on you. I know that in the end, we want our companies, we want our industry, we want our local governments to see us as important enough to take the initiative, to do things, to put us in the best possible position to be successful. I would love it if the police department, the sheriff's department, would bring in local security guards and teach them defensive tactics, teach them firearms, to teach them first aid. But the truth is, it's not happening. It hasn't happened, it isn't happening, and it's more than likely not going to happen. So the onus is on you. I mean, it's on me as well. It's on all of us. At the end of the day, we are responsible for our own professionalism, our own well-being. That is precisely why I'm starting this channel and why I reach out to you guys via these videos. Guys, it's our responsibility, because in the end, no one is coming to save us. We have to all take the initiative to do whatever it is that we can do to make ourselves more professional, more successful, and ultimately more hireable and more desirable. Uncomfortable truth number 2 is that this truly is a dangerous job. Guys, listen. If you're working a post, if you're sitting in your car, you're working at a front desk, you're working at a retail establishment, a bank, or you're doing some sort of foot patrol, if you're under the impression that you can't be stabbed, stuck, jumped, beaten, shot, or killed, you are kidding yourself. You can literally back out of this video right now, go into the YouTube search function, and you can type in security guard attacked, security guard beaten, security guard shot, and you will see countless news stories, CCTV footage, cell phone footage of security guards just like you and me getting involved in situations that cost them, if not their job, their livelihoods, and sometimes their life. You have got to take this seriously. If you have not watched one of my videos on the 5 things to do right now after watching this video, one of the things that we talk about is having a plan of action if you don't come home. Your wife, your family needs to know, if you don't make it home, God forbid, because something happened on your shift and they haven't been notified, what are they going to do to be able to find where you are and potentially what happened to you? Also, if you have not purchased life insurance, you need to do that. If you're carrying concealed on your days off, or even on that time to and from work where maybe you're not covered by your company, you should have concealed carry insurance. All of these things go back to understanding the responsibility that we each have for ourselves and for our profession. But if you're not taking seriously how dangerous this job is and how much more dangerous it's going to become in the next few years, especially leading up to the election, where potentially we're going to be trying to enforce mask mandates or whatever else comes down the pipe from the government or our superiors. We are in the absolute crosshairs of the public. You've got to take it seriously, and you've got to do all of the things to protect yourself, both physically, financially, and with your family. Number one not only applies to security, but it applies to life. And guys, that is everything. And I mean everything is fluid. The person that you're working with right now as a coworker could very well become your supervisor. That person could be the person that dictates whether or not you get picked up when the contract gets sold to another company, whether or not you have advancements within your company. Where your family is today, where your family is tomorrow, your relationships, the people that you're dating, everything. It's fluid. Nothing stays the same. There's a great motivational speaker by the name of Les Brown. He says you're either in a storm, coming out of a storm, or going into a storm. And that truly is the way of life. And I want you guys to understand that when things change and when things become fluid, whether in security or in life, someone who's at the ripe old age of 43, I want you to know you're gonna be okay. I want you to think of this allegory that I talk about often, and that's being either a tugboat or a lighthouse. A tugboat, everything is a struggle. It pulls, it forces, right? But a lighthouse, it stays consistent. It stands firm in the storm. It shines its light outward. There's a guy skateboarding across the street. I apologize. The lighthouse stays firm. It shines its light outward. It brings people towards it in the midst of a storm. And I want you guys to know that no matter what happens in your life or in your security guard career, things are going to be okay. Just remember that everything is fluid, everything changes, and sometimes that's not a bad thing, it's for the better, okay? So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We had a lot of interruptions, but that's okay, because you know what? Life is fluid, and so is YouTube. I want you guys to have a great day. I want to thank you, as always, for joining me, listening to me babble, taking any of my advice, and remember to please watch your six, be safe, and be great.